Mike, for a lot of people, they know about the 19th annual, of course, as you talked about it, but they think of it as just the basketball. It's not just about the basketball. It started for a reason because of the basketball, and that is Danny Rumph. You had a chance of growing up with Danny, playing with Danny at the rec center, and playing with him for many, many years. You and a bunch of your friends who are a part of the entire event and the Classic with the family. And for those who don't know about the basketball piece of it and why you really put things out there, it's always save the next star and all of it. It's always a tough thing to discuss, but you always want to get that message out there as to why this was started in the first place. So could you share it with the people who don't know?
Yeah, no, I appreciate it. In 2005, Danny Rumph was a starting point guard at Western Kentucky University. He was at home playing with, he actually was playing with his uncle and his friends in the morning. And then in the evening, a bunch of our friends got together to hoop, and he collapsed of a heart disease that was undiagnosed at the time. He had something called hypertrophic cardiomyopathy. Never had a heart screening. He was a Division I athlete. There was no AED in the gym. Ambulance took 45 minutes to get there. Nobody in the gym knew CPR. So a lot of those elements just created this thing of we're unable to save his life. So his uncle Marcus and his mom started a foundation. They said, let's figure out how to get defibrillators into the rec centers. So through the foundation, we've been able to help get 100 plus defibrillators in the rec centers, along with the fire department. We just recently donated 15 to the Philadelphia Boys and Girls Club. We've got 20 going into the Delaware Boys and Girls Club in the next couple of weeks. So a lot of it is along with our heart screenings for young athletes, is just trying to really support, how do you save the next bright star? So every time we do one of these heart screenings, we probably find 2 to 3 kids that suffer from some type of heart abnormality that, we really believe that the work, which is the most important thing, is finding this next kid that is a star, and we're able to save his life. So one of our hashtags is save the next bright star. And when we're doing things with our younger kids, they're the next bright stars.
When you guys started this way back when, I'm sure it still is very personal to you, was very personal, but did you have any idea, any inclination that it could turn into something where when you guys are having guys like James Harden, Tyrese Maxey, these big time players, big time stars come out and make it a point to show up and be part of something that now is really ingrained in the Philadelphia basketball community?
I think at the time I was doing an internship with a brand called And One. So I was an And One guy. So I always worked and was in the summer basketball space, and we always wanted to build it towards.
I probably bought a lot of product from you at one point. Yeah.
So it was also we would find guys around the city that was our James Harden, right? Jared Kearse was one of our first year MVPs, won the championship. A gentleman named Nick King. There was another guy in West Philly nicknamed Face. I just saw him a couple weeks ago. Getting Michael Jordan to come play, getting Antoine Brockington, getting these guys.
Penn Michael Jordan, everybody.
Penn Michael Jordan. Even, being able to have the Sharif Brace, who started the foundation, him on the court. We all thought our guys were some of the best guys in the planet, right? This is before you realize also how much basketball really goes on in the world. So I think, and Hakeem Warwick has played for almost the first 14 years that we played. Hakeem played AAU basketball with Danny, having a guy like Mustafa Shakur. So getting those guys just to come play from day one. Yeah. Sean Singletary that played at Virginia, having all these guys that we were in the gym with consistently as kids. Now it's they're all going on to their careers and they come back and still play. So, I don't know if we ever thought we'd get to the level of NBA MVPs and guys that just won championships. Super fortunate to go down the line to have the James Hardens, the Jason Tatums, the John Walls, the Bones Highland, Lou Williams. We've got a really impressive and extensive list that's really fun to look back on sometimes. But it's also when we were just 22, 23 years old and just a bunch of our friends just trying to play basketball. That's also the power of what a Philadelphia Rec Center means to you and what your friends are. And, it's the same group of guys that are still running it today. Justin Scott, assistant basketball coach at St. Joe's. Sharif Bray, an assistant coach at Cheltenham High School, still, I think, one of the best trainers in the city. Sharif Hanford runs Danny Rumph basketball. We've got 6 youth teams playing around the city at any given time. Brandon Huff has an AU program called Sean Warner Elite. So everybody that we're still together day to day comes together to help do this. And we've got another 90 person volunteer staff that are doing really good things in the sports or entertainment space. And, it's just another way to show what does it mean to, do things together. What is a neighborhood? What does a rec center kind of really represent? And how does that, become the fabric of what Philly basketball is?
And to add on to that really quickly is that when you talk about how big it's gotten, not just here locally, but it's also known around the country, where last summer There were 4 Pro-Am teams that played in the tournament together in Los Angeles, and the Danny Rumph team was a part of that from, New York, Miami, LA, and Philadelphia, right?
Yeah. We do 6, Atlanta and Baltimore in it as well. So that's something we call the PABC. Again, connectivity with cities, people that are doing like-minded things. So, being able to do that and then showcase our talent and being seen as like one of the best leagues in the country is always like really important to us. So I look at, what we've done as a city, and I think that's what's fun is like we call it the Philly basketball barbecue. You're going to be able to see all the different high school coaches, the college coaches, your teammates, the guys you played middle school basketball with, the guys you played maybe overseas with. So it's kind of fun to then see all these guys that go around the world. And we looked at it one year, we represented about 50 different countries around the world of like who was playing and where they went to. So a lot of stuff just becomes fun, man. Of like being able to get to I'm 41 now, to be able to do this for 19 years with the same group of guys that we started with, and we're all still best friends, to, and with the family to be able to come in there and be like, man, like here's pictures from when we started, and, how much we've all gotten a little bit older, and the grades are getting a little stronger.
We all silly like the mayor.